Yep, so welcome back. In the previous video we were stuck over here, so let me just continue by giving this SCSS. So we have, by now I think you have understood what is SCSS and what is the difference between SCSS and CSS. So in this thing, main content, so that is this main content, we are having a form and then साथ में एक image भी है इसके साथ. So we are going to style that form dot e new emp with a border of 2px solid black, and then with a border radius as 10px, and then a padding of 20px, and with a width of 50%. So inside this form we are going to give a user character and then display flex with justify content as center. Yeah, and then inside, then outside of the user we are going to give each emp character है. इसमें I'm going to give margin as 10px. Okay, inside this div I'm going to give the input tag. See this, each employee will be having a label tag and an input tag. So अभी input tag को हम style देंगे यहाँ पे, input of padding with 10px and width is of 100%, and then font size of 20 pixels and the border radius is of 10 pixels. Okay, and then this employee message emp message of text align center, and then the button, which will have form buttons as a class name, will be having a display flex, then justify content at space between, and then here each button, the emp button, will be having a padding of 10 pixels, font size of 16 pixels, margin top as 10 pixels, background color as white, and the border radius as 10 pixels, with the cursor as pointer and font weight as bold, with the border of 2px solid black. Now upon hovering the button, I am just changing the colors, which will give a nice impact in the style while we show it to the user. So the background color will change to black, and then the color will become the white. The color is nothing but the text color, and the background color is the background color of the button. So we have given the completely SCSS for the add employee page. Now this will be not directly get applied because here we are seeing the different errors. So let's just go to the TS part. Inside this TS part I'm going to add, so before doing all this I'm going to create an object. Okay, now each employee will be having some of the things like emp name is an empty string as of now, and the emp address is having an empty string. Okay, and now we are also going to create a variable named emp message, which is either undefined or a string. Save it, and then inside the submit employee, I'm going to console.log of the details which I entered inside the forms. Emp name, and then console.log of this dot emp object dot emp address. Okay. So up till now I am going to print the data, and let's just see what are the errors. These are the errors regarding the forms module. So that is the template driven modules. The HTML part we can't give here as an empty string. So for that I am going to create a new folder inside this app module. Inside this app and app karke ek folder, I am going to create new folder named database, and this database will be having a new file named empdata.json. As we are going to use JSON server, as I have explained earlier, we are going to use JSON server, and then this JSON server will be having array of objects. So that is emp data, this is the heading, and this is having an array of each one. Okay, as of now it is empty because we are going to add data into this. Now add employee, add HTML, and then add employee ka HTML mein I am going to, now we are adding the data inside this database which is initially empty, and then every employee in this employee management system will be having a particular data type or interface. Okay, so let me just create a new file named model.ts. okay, now inside this model.ts I am going to define the each one. Okay, each one should have an interface of emp as id with the number value, emp name as a string, and then emp address as a string. Now absolutely make sure that this emp address, this emp name is same as given in the object. So that is add employee.ts. so see this add employee and add employee name and employee address, these are same that are present inside the model.ts. okay, now id will be generated automatically, so I don't need to give any id in this object. So every time I give the data inside the input field, that will be given inside the employee object, and then the employee object will take it as a values from here inside the app employee name, employee address. Okay, so just a minute. Inside this thing, just a minute. The TS file, we have given the action, and now we are going to clear these errors by just going to the HTML file, like my mouse was not working, now it's working fine. So ng model and then inside this ng model I'm going to give employee object dot link it with the emp name. Okay, so like that only, link this thing, link this address with emp address. Now as you can see, do we have any errors? Oh, we are still having errors. What is that? Yeah, clear form is not defined. So let me just do that. I'm going to go to here and then I'm going to create a clear form karke ek function. So now I think all the errors are gone. Yep, all the errors are gone and compiled successfully. So inside this clear form I'm going to write the logic of, as the name defines clear form, the object, that is the employee object, will be getting empty. Employee name, make it as empty, and then employee address, make it as empty. Okay, and then we are going to give a small validation. If this dot emp object dot emp name not equal to empty string, and this dot emp object dot emp address not equal to empty string, that is, if both the details are given, then only console dot log as successfully added the employee. Okay, if it is done, then only show this message. So after doing that, I'm going to, employee message करके जो parameter हमने एक variable दिया है, I'm going to give that thing this dot employee message as successfully added employee. This is just to give the user a hint that he has successfully entered. Okay, after this I'm going to define this dot clear form, which means if the data is not equal to empty string, that means the data is given by the user, and then he clicks on the submit emp. Here we are consoling the data, and also based on the condition, if the condition is true, it is coming inside and showing the message successfully added employee. And then we are going to clear the form also. Else, that is, the data is empty, then we are going to console that, saying that please enter valid details, and then also we are going to show employee message as please enter valid details. Okay, now every time when we show this employee message, it should be like show that message for some time. So for that we are going to use set timeout karke ek function, in which we are going to give a callback as this dot employee message is equal to undefined. So initially we have given this variable as a value of, it can be undefined or a string. This defines an or, this can be undefined or a string. So when we have given a set timeout for 3000 milliseconds, I guess, milli or microseconds, I don't remember that. yeah, it's going to be milliseconds. So after 3000 milliseconds, this string is going to be undefined. So this is the TS part, and then we have given the database. We have set the database also. That is the database, this empdata.json. Okay, so just save it. And is there anything? Yeah, go to view is also ready. So the add page is ready to execute. So here the server is also on. So here we can see compiled successfully, that means no errors. And then we are going to see the data, the output ng serv dash o. As I said earlier, to come out of the terminal, just click on Control and C, and now just go to ngserv dash o. I'm now going to close this thing, and then again run the server. It will take some time as we have done many changes. Now see the output. Now this is the static data that I have given. Now when you click on add employee, now this is the page that will be shown. And then I think I have missed this button. I think I have given clear. Okay, so clear का जो है, okay, I have not given the class name. Clear का बटन कहाँ पे है? अभी यहाँ पे, yeah, EMP button, and then clear form. Yep, I have given right. So what's the problem in that? What's the problem in that? EMP button, and then SCSS. Yeah, see, these are called the silly errors. Sometimes you will get frustrated because of that. Now we are just giving employee button, and see it is taking a few seconds because it is the page is getting refreshed. And when you go back, see submit and clear. On hover, we are going to change the background color and the text color. So in here, so to view the console, just give Control Shift I. Here you can see the console, or else if you don't know anything, just go to the right click, go to inspect. Here we can see the console, and then for example, if you want to give an employee name as Lochan, and then the employee city as Delhi, then click on submit button. See, we can see the submitted successfully added employee, and then the values over here. Okay, and whenever we click on the, for example, I have done some random text over here and we want to clear it, then click on clear button. The clear button works completely. So when you click on the submit button, so please enter valid details करके एक आ रहा है, and that is the form validation. Okay, and then here I have forgotten to interpolate the EMP message which I have given inside this TS file. So this thing, EMP message, just copy it and then paste it so that the user can understand, not only coming in the console, here he can with text. So employee name, for example employee name को ही रोहित शर्मा देंगे और by, and then submit. See, data submitted successfully, added employee. When you clear on clear only, enter valid details. So when you give some Kasara data like this and we click on clear, enter valid details. Okay, so the add employee is completed and the view employee is also completed. When I click on the add employee, it will go to add employee, and when we click on this thing, so and also we need to give this template a little bit styling. So that is HTML app component dot HTML को हम यहाँ पे रखेंगे, and then we are going to the app component dot SCSS. In this thing I'm going to give as emp head of text align as center and padding top as 10 pixels, and now you can see it is beautifully aligned. View all the employees, you can view the all employees, and if you need to add a new employee, then click on the add employee. So here we can see it's taking like this. I have given a simple design. So view employee, add employee. Whenever I click on this is a delete option, this is an update option. So whenever I click on the update option, it will work as of now. So अभी हम लोग project mapping में देखेंगे कहाँ तक आ गए हैं. So we are adding the Maggi masala on it. Before we are used to stir the Maggi with boiling water. Now we are adding Maggi masala on it. वो crispy वाला मसाला जो रहता है वो डाल रहे हैं हम लोग यहाँ पे. So write the basic logic inside the TypeScript and part of the component. Inside the part of the component, the TypeScript वाला code here पे in the TS file we are writing the code, right? So this is nothing but writing the basic logic inside the TypeScript of the component. So adding the flavors to the project. Okay, so Maggi masala हमको एक flavor देता है while cooking the veg Maggi. So like that only we are going to give TS file inside the HTML which gives Maggi masala, which gives masala to our project. So in the next part we are going to chop the vegetables. We have created a JSON file as our database to store the data taken from the app which was given by the user, and now we are going to create the service, and now we are going to create the service. Step 1 से step 7 तक हमने सब कुछ कर दिया है. Now in the step 7 we are going to create a service. Inside the service file we are going to give different CRUD operations, that is nothing but create, update, delete and add the files, okay, inside a JSON file using the JSON server. So step 6 में हमने क्या किया? We have added the magic masala. So the requirement was to give a veg Maggi to the customer. So we are going to chop the vegetables parallelly, and then we are going to create a JSON file which we have already did, and then we are going to create the service file. And now we are going to create the service file. So for that I need to close this output browser, and then I'm going to close this console, come out of it, and then nggs. Now service. What is a service? A service is nothing but which helps us to write this service logic. Okay, the service logic. When we work with the REST API, we are working with the get, to put, to post, delete options, right? Now these are nothing but the services provided. So for using that, or for writing a complex logic, we use a service. So ng generate service as s, and we are going to give the service name as emp. Okay, now let me just hit enter, and now we can see you have given it has given employee service spec.ts, employee service.ts, which are present inside over here. Okay, let me just wrap up this, and see we are having these two. So in the app module.ts, do you remember we have installed this HTTP client module and forms module. The forms module is used to take the user data, and HTTP client module is used to send the data to the database or to the server, JSON server. In our case we are using the JSON server, right? So this thing is used to post, put, delete the data inside the server. So for that I am going to create a new terminal, okay, and then just give the path. For me the database is inside src app के अंदर database of this thing. Okay, So for that thing we are going to write json dash server dash dash no, before that we need to check the path. So it is present inside the emp table. अब तक यहाँ पे जो है ना emp table app, which is this thing. So I need to go inside this path, service app database. So अभी हम लोग यहाँ पे cd space src करंट डायरेक्टरी से src में जाओ, करंट डायरेक्टरी से app में जाओ, एंड cd से हम लोग जाएंगे inside the database. Now check the spelling, again it will get error, database, and then the key which we need to use, json server dash dash watch space, let me just show you clearly, json server space dash dash watch space, what is the file name, empdata.json. Now do you remember we are running the project in a port number as 4200. Let me just run it, ng okay, for time being let's just kill this server and then create another server. Okay, inside this I'm going to run ngserv dash dash o and then run it. Now see, the project is been compiled and it is running in the server with the port number as 4200. So in this port, this is a fixed port given by the system itself while running for this project. Now I need to give the JSON server a port number dash dash port as, let me just randomly say 4010. Okay, so inside this port number the JSON server will be running, and this hit enter. JSON dash server now let me just check it, what's the problem. JSON dash server dash dash watch emp data dot json, the port number of 4010. No, I don't know what's the error, so I will see what's the problem and I will let you know in the next upcoming video. And tab tak we are done up till this part, the step 7. We have chopped the vegetables. Okay, we are up till step 7. We are going to create the service file. Don't worry, we are going to create the service file. So for that only I'm running the server, but I'm getting some errors. So but don't worry, I'm going to deal with it. So we are going to have a solution for that. I'm going to tell what is the solution for that. Up till then, take care, be happy, meet you in the next video. Tab tak please like the video, and share to the people who want to learn Angular in a fun mode like this. So up to now we have created the Maggi. It is boiling with the masala in it. Okay, and we are going to chop the vegetables. So as we know that we will take time to chop the vegetables, so just be calm and just wait for the next video. In the next video we are going to resolve that problem, and yep, be happy, bye bye.